do have one more thing that I wanted to address on this podcast about the calibration toolkit.
Okay.
But because it got me thinking, especially when I was doing, what was it? Like the phase tests
Mhm.
and just the level matching tests, just how different pink noise sounds coming out of each individual speaker,
Mm.
because not all of my speakers are identical, right? So it's like, am I focusing on the wrong thing when I'm, deciding what my dream home theater setup is going to be? Because
Mm.
normally, you've got your big old front soundstage. Maybe you got a couple towers, or maybe if you've got like a really nice setup with like an acoustically transparent screen with like three identical towers behind it, that kind of thing.
Mhm.
Obviously, you need a lot of power because typically the distance between your screen and your main listening position is going to be a greater distance than your surrounds, right?
Right.
So you need more power to get to that, main listening position from the front soundstage. But at the same time, like, I don't know, I'm kind of starting to think maybe balance is more important than power. As far as like just your sonic qualities of a particular speaker. Because if you take a look at any post-production facility, like I really like Atom Audio studio monitors. I don't actually own one, but I just really like the look of their speakers. I like how they have DSP in them, so you don't have to have like an external DSP, in the mix. So if I ever had like a really nice studio monitor setup, I'd probably go with Atom Audio speakers if money was no object. But like if you take a look at a picture of any Atom Audio setup, it's always the same exact speakers. Front, center, left, surrounds, back surrounds, even the heights. They're always like the same exact bookshelf speaker that, the heights are like on these mean ass, stands that are like connected to the ceiling so they can handle that much weight, whatever.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's like, is that what I should be shooting for? Is like every single speaker to be the exact same so then I have the exact same tone coming out of each speaker,
I
as
like that idea.
as
I
opposed to
mean,
like
I'll
a
tell you
big
this,
front
it
soundstage.
helps. It totally helps, man.
Yeah.
When I upstairs, I had a hodgepodge, right? I had the SVS prime elevation speakers up top. I had clipped speakers all around.
Hmm.
Then I had Martin Logan speakers all around, still with the SVS up top. And then finally, I got the focals up top, and then I got the matching focal ear level speakers. So all the materials are all the same. And that just, it brings a level of immersion up because everything is just, it's a cohesive unit,
Hmm.
right? You have all the same, in this case, flax drivers, aluminum, magnesium tweeters, all of it's the same, right? And then, and I experienced it in this room when, who was it? It was OSD sent me like 11 tiny little Apple-sized speakers, right? And I set it up in here. I was just like, wow, I want to watch TV or I want to watch movies in here because everything is the same speaker.
Yeah.
Upstairs, it's still not the same speaker per se, right? The height channels are like 4-inch, is the woofer as opposed to 6.5-inch or whatever.
Yeah.
But there is something to be said to at least matching the brand of speaker so that even, like it was very important, like your front stage have the same timbre match for things panning around. But now that we have sounds above us, it actually does make a difference. And yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I like that idea though. So if it's between like adding more power or having everything have similar timbre, because that's what you hear the difference is, right? When you're hearing that pink noise, it's hitting all the frequencies It's like that one sounds different,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's a different tonal balance there.
It sounds like, just that slight difference.
That was perfect.
It's going to make a difference. Like,
Yeah.
as far as, timbre matching and balance is concerned. Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
So, because I remember, Chana, you were talking about how you had some towers in your front soundstage at one
Yep.
point, but then you downsized to bookshelves, and it like made that much of a difference because obviously we all dream initially that we want to have just these
Ginormous
yeah
speakers.
these
Yeah.
huge towers, and I mean that's cool. But honestly, now, like I'm steering more towards huge towers just for like a stereo hi-fi setup because
Yeah.
it really makes a difference with listening to music. But home theater,
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't until Joe did the Magic Beans calibration. Once he did that, I was just like, man, this because I didn't have the subwoofers on when I listened to music 2-channel. Previously, and then we did, and that was with the Martin Logan towers, the electrostat towers. And once we did the Magic Beans calibration, I was just like, wow, we integrated the sub, and they integrated so well that I was like, I don't need towers.
yeah.
I don't need towers at all.
These guys
As long
are
as
killing
I
me
have
in the
Joe
chat.
and his Magic Beans. Why? What's happening?
They're just like nonstop Fast and Furious quotes.
From
You caught
look what you started.
just
know, man.
nonstop, like
Started,
everybody has a
Aaron.
different
I
one.
posted the one thing and I didn't even think anybody would get it. Immediately, Chana got it, and then everybody just starts going.
Yeah. Dr. said I got high
love it.
metabolism. How about this
Just don't
one?
see cuz.
How about this one? Pockets ain't empty, cuz.
Oh, because they empty cuz.
Or this other one. Here, perfect. We hungry.
We hungry.
Monica,
Oh God, I forgot about that one.
no, Monica.
Oh man.
Oh yes, yes.
Yeah.
The greatest.
I
What were
think
we talking about?
we were talking about you almost had me.
You almost had me. Still a buster.
So Elon was saying that instead of trying to buy more power, add more power, matching up the speakers, I guess, essentially, right?
Yeah.
So that's what a good room. What do they call it nowadays? Room
Calibration.
calibration.
Correction.
Room correction.
House
Yeah.
curve.
I forgot about it because I was thinking about how that's so inaccurate.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
It's
You're
like
not
a room
correcting
correction.
the room.
There's only one room correction. It's putting up stuff in your room and changing your room, right? But a good correction should make the speaker sound more similar,
Yeah.
right? So when you do
Yeah.
run that pink noise, they should kind of have, I don't know, they're not going to be exactly the same if they're all like different sizes and things like that, but tonally they should all sound more
I
similar. than
remember I sent a preliminary 9.1.4 call out to Shane, right? Spare change.
Mhm.
And he's like, I was like, how did it go? He's like, it made it glaringly obvious that I need to change my front wides. I'm like, why? What are your front wides? He said, they're not the same as all the other speakers. And it was just so blatantly obvious that it was really bad. I was like, oh, sorry. But it worked, right? And he's like, yeah, it worked.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
It told me I need to buy new speakers.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. If you would like to join us every week on Mondays at what time is it? About 6 p.m. Central, which is the best time. That's where I am. Make sure you join us at youtube.com/dailyhifi. We out.